Welcome once again to my back step. Thank you so much for coming to check out this video. You probably guessed I'm doing some melting on some metal today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. It is much appreciated, and I do appreciate every single one of you guys that is supporting my videos and me getting out to do this little playing on my back step. So with that, let's get on with it, shall we? I do have some stuff to set up. I have a mold that I need to fix because I broke my paw print mold. Broke the mold on that one. But I'm going to try to fix it a little. See what I can do with it. Use some artistic creativity with my Dremel tool to fix that. I do have another lot of stuff that I can get prepped for melting. I have a bag full of copper wire there that I stripped out of a motor. I have these Javex bottles when I'm cutting the front. I'm going to use these for my slag, but right now I've got my copper to melt in there. So I'll collect some of these bottles, and that's what I'll use those for, as well as I have some of these old containers. And what I might do is use these old containers for putting the stuff in that needs to melt, or putting the slag in, and keep these for stuff that I'm melting. Or I'll do it the other way around. But I can label them with like copper, aluminum, brass, stuff like that, so that I'm not mixing them up, and just keep it organized, because I'm always organized on my back step. I got a container of wire that's not stripped here. I did buy a little stripper, but it's not very good. I need to get a good one. We had a lot of wind and rain yesterday, and some of the rain did penetrate into here. As you can see, some of my stuff has rusted a little. That's okay. These can take it, but I'm not going to leave them out here anymore because I don't want them to have to. Alrighty guys, that's enough of the chit chat for the moment. Just give me a few minutes and I'm going to set up some of this stuff and get started in on things and show you some new stuff that I got along the way, as well as some old stuff that you've already seen. Yep. That was almost a big disaster. Big disaster. Alrighty, so I have my 3 kilogram crucible in my furnace, so I am going to weigh out some copper now and some aluminum, because I'm going to make the aluminum copper alloy again. This time I'm going to do some going to try these coins again. I have a different idea for how to do it though, so I'm hoping it works out better. It should. And we'll see how it goes. That's one. That's a little over 2 pounds of copper. And it's a little over 0.2 pounds of aluminum. That's my 10% and my 90%. Turn this off. Let's load up the crucible. Now, one of the first things I'm doing is I'm checking this for obvious signs of cracks somewhere. And there's a piece gone there where I dropped it, but it's still not a hole or anything. This one is pretty close. These gloves are new. These are my new gloves that I bought that I was gonna save, but I figured I'd use them for this stuff just as well, hey? Let's get this loaded up. I'm going to leave the aluminum for a little later. Get some copper melting in it first. Oh, shouldn't be doing that. Alrighty, while that is heating, this is stuff I scraped out of a motor. It's a lot of wire. Has to be twisted and stuff like that. There's aluminum in here also. So I'm going to take this and just lay it aside. Because right now I want to try to do a little something with this coin mold so it looks more detailed, like a coin or something. I'm just going to draw something in it and see if it comes out good in the middle when I pours it in there, or if it's just a waste of time. Other thing I got to do, this is what I made to pour my coins. so it should be better than trying to use the whole crucible. I'll just dip out of the crucible and pour it in the coin mold. But this needs to be trimmed off a little bit so it fits in better. It fits in okay, but I want it to stay like a scoop, so when I put it down I can just lift it up. And with it this big, it's scraping off the sides, so I need to take off about 1/4 inch off of the top of this spoon, just so it fits good, but I want to keep it a little round. So that's the first thing I'm going to do with my Dremel. I do have some time waiting on my furnace to heat. I have to move it a little. Sorry guys, I did not realize that it was tipped forward. The front legs weren't on the wooden piece. That's not good. So I told you what I'm going to do with this spoon. And I told you what I'm going to do with this mold. I'm going to do the spoon first, because if I don't get the mold done, that's not a big deal. But the spoon I need to have done in order to dip. I'm not going to have you listen to the Dremels or this one, so I am going to probably mute the sound in this next segment coming up, so you don't have to listen to it. Yep. Alrighty, so you see that worked pretty good. Furnace is not even at 1,000 degrees yet, so it still has some time to go. This spoon is hot. Gloves. And the vibrations was killing my hands too. Okay, that's this done. That's good. Happy with that. Happy with how it turned out. Now, I'm going to look for a little picture or something to try and duplicate for my coin. Let's go. I'm going to try to do something similar to this, not as detailed though. But that just gives me an idea of something to go for. So it's going to be more Dremel time. I'm going to be making it a lot smaller. Let's see. Blink. So in reality it will be about the same size as what this actual coin is. But they're all going to be one-sided, which is fine. Now I just need to look for something that will be a good carving tool, which I actually have lots of right here. They're the little diamond bits that I have. As you can see, these ones. And I think these will be probably the best ones to do something like this with. Let's go small. Let's do this one here. Look at this. This one will do, I think. I hope. That's too small for the chalk. Gotta change the chalk out. Fit that one. It's too small. Too back. Too few. Let's not lose it down under the step, shall we? Because that would be something to try and find. That would. Changing these chalks out is relatively simple. It's just, let me zoom in so you can see. You just take this comes out. This one goes in. Then this goes back on. This creates the pressure on the piece, which snugs this in place. And then it doesn't, well, when you tighten it, then it doesn't come out and move. So now, I will swap this back out when I'm done, because this one is obviously not my standard one. So now it's time to start trying some carving. Now you might not be able to see exactly what I'm carving. I'll try to move the camera a little bit so you can see a bit better, but we'll see how it works out. Alrighty, once again I want to thank all of you for tapping and sticking around and hooking up this video for today. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Share it out if you want to. I do appreciate all of the support. And as always, be safe, have fun, and I will catch you all on the next one.